The Lord's Resistance Army, the LRA, was established in 1987 by warlord Joseph Kony, originally to fight the suppression of his ethnic tribe in northern Uganda. Kony also hoped to topple the Ugandan government and run the country according to his version of the Ten Commandments, claiming to be the spokesperson of God and seen as a messiah figure to his followers. Many claim Kony to be the leader of a cult rather than a terrorist or militant organization. With weapons support from Sudan, the LRA quickly turned into a violent killing squad that pillaged, mutilated, murdered, and tortured villagers without mercy. Most of the 100,000 plus victims coming from the very same ethnic group that Kony swore to defend. But the most horrific tactic in Kony's operations is the abduction of children by the thousands, who are brainwashed and used as servants, sex slaves, and child soldiers. Sometimes the LRA forces children to murder family members and friends as a demonstration of their loyalty. The United Nations estimates up to 100,000 children were abducted from villages between 1987 and 2012. And during the ruthless attacks on remote villages, the LRA would often hack people to death with machetes and cut off people's ears, lips, and noses to serve as a warning to others. Close to 2.5 million people have fled in fear or have been forced from their homes due to the LRA's murderous rampages. Although Sudan stopped providing weapons, the LRA loots villages and is involved in the illegal trade of natural resources in order to fund its operations. And although it started in Uganda, the LRA has since splintered into small groups and spread out over much of Central Africa. In response, the African Union, with troops from the Central African Republic, the Democratic Republic of Congo, South Sudan, and Uganda, launched a major operation in 2012 to hunt down Joseph Kony and the LRA. The Americans have contributed 250 special forces to advise and work with the African Union troops. Several attempts at reaching a peace deal over the years have all collapsed, typically when Kony pulls out of the negotiations. And in March 2016, the International Criminal Court issued arrest warrants for several LRA leaders, including Kony, for crimes against humanity and war crimes. Although still a dangerous organization, the number of LRA fighters has decreased significantly since 2012. It's believed that only a core force of between 150 and 200 militants remain. The LRA also scaled back the level of brutality and savage murder used in its attacks. Despite this reduction in the fighting force, the LRA is responsible for over 400 abductions and 14 deaths in the Central African Republic and the Democratic Republic of Congo since the beginning of 2016. U.S. forces captured an LRA general in 2015, but there's been no sign of Joseph Kony, who's thought to be in poor health. The LRA founder is said to be suffering from diabetes and potentially the AIDS virus.